Hey, sorry about that. I'm trying to flip this doggone screen so that the stuff doesn't read backwards, but I don't have the button here, so I don't see it anyway. Uh, anyway, how are y'all? We're trying this one more time, this Facebook Live for YOLO with ToLo. Welcome. Hopefully the audio will be together. Let me see if I can add Toan. Um, try it one more time, but I couldn't.
Hey,
I don't have.
it's
Hey, hey, Kim. I don't have the thing to flip the.
it's
I
the
couldn't
bottom
flip
right hand
the.
side. It's okay.
Yeah, but it had the thing to. It didn't have the one to flip. It had. I still don't even have it on here. It has
I,
the one to flip the camera to the other
I just need to
side,
give you a
but
little
not the
training.
one where you reverse
It's
it.
okay, age, darling, age. No.
So I'm like, okay, I'll
Hey,
just
how are
keep
you
doing
doing?
it. But I'm wonderful. I'm
Sick.
better. I've been not so
Yeah, you
great.
were sick last week.
Now the audio is great, so I don't know. So now when I figure out how to flip it up and
Flipping and
reverse it,
reverse
then
it.
whatever.
Hey, Nicole. Okay, this is episode 38, and happy Valentine's Day, or should I say Pal-entine's Day to you, because I don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
I'm not a big. I'm like whatever. If people celebrate and they are out enjoying it, yes, love, celebrate. I'm all for that.
So we figured we would talk today.
It's Thursday.
We figured we'd talk today about, since it's Valentine's Day, about self-love, really. The only love that you really, I think, the one that you need before you give out any other love, should I say. So Kevin is our producer
Right.
today. And I guess, shall we get rolling into YOLO's hot topics?
Let's roll.
One of the hot topics is, okay, so you say you're a cured man now. We didn't go live last week because you got food poisoning. You all right?
Yes, a certain airline tried to kill me. Yeah, I had the only thing I ate that day. I had a salad on the flight going from Chicago into DC, and it had a grilled chicken breast, and I was fine. I got off. Went later that night.
Ugh.
It was just not pretty. I ended up in the urgent care,
Whoa.
and then I was like in bed literally for like 5 days.
Ugh.
It was horrible. I don't wish that on
Ugh.
anyone. I don't wish that on anyone.
Ugh. I'm glad you're better. I just hate. I had food poisoning back in the day.
Thank
I was
you.
in bed for 5 days, so it was not cute. But
yeah,
I'm glad you're better. A lot
not
of people are sick. I know. Just everywhere in my life, people are sick. A lot of people. Just it's cold here too. It's like really rainy this week. Mudslides, trees down. It's crazy. How
I think it's 60 here today.
Okay, nice. It's weird. It's kind of like a reversal, huh? Weather.
It is because you always just look at the other side. Yeah.
So have with all this like crazy storms and such, I'm glad that you're not like up in flight today, because a lot of flights are grounded out of SFO, the San Francisco International.
Yeah, and I was up in Seattle. Right at fortunately my flight took off yesterday, but I went early in the morning. But they had all this record snow, and it was a mess.
Crazy.
It was a mess. It was pretty to look at.
Right? It is gorgeous.
Inside the hotel.
Yeah, right. Well, another storm is brewing. A lot of people are talking about j.lo and her Motown tribute. What did you think? I was able to watch it. I was able to watch bits and bobs of the actual whole Grammys, and I have it on DVR. I just hadn't had time to watch the whole thing. But I did watch hers. What do you think about all the controversy about from different communities talking about I shut down by all black people or whatever they're fussing about?
Right. Well, I'm on the side like with Smokey Robinson. Motown was music for the people, all people. So, for me, all people should have an opportunity to interpret it and to honor it. And I've watched her performance, and I was like, what are people mad about? Well, minus when she tried to do Tina Marie. Now, nobody's been checking for j.lo vocally. So when you, that's just truth. But I say that to say that, for her doing like a Tina Marie song was like, okay, that was a little different, a little jarring. But she's just an electrifying performer. So I love that she was able to interpret it her way. I know some people have problems with her, like doing a little salsa at the end or whatever. I don't know. It was her artistic expression, her
style
of it.
I felt like she was sharing her own style.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. She's always an electrifying performer.
Yeah.
But we're so caught up in every little issue. Somebody's always looking for something.
Yeah.
So if it was just an atrocious performance, then I would have been like, well, girl. But aside from her, even though she didn't like totally butcher the Tina Marie snippet, it was like, okay, but you know, that particular song and her particular voice is like so freaking huge and iconic.
Yeah.
And she wasn't black, and she was like a huge star of Motown.
Yeah, right.
In the later Motown years.
Well, and the thing is,
I don't know. She didn't bother me.
You know, she grew up in the Bronx, and I feel like music is for everybody. And I don't think, you know, there's certain songs that connected to me, and even my baby cousins and other family members. And you know, I'm not black, but you know, it still resonates. And I think music helps tell a story. And her story is that she grew up in the Bronx. And I was okay with her doing the salsa bit at the end too. Again, if it was really bad, then I would have been like, eh. But you know, a lot of people are also mad with the fact that they were like, oh, you could have had like the greats, other, you know, soulful Motown, you know, contributors. But you know, she had like Smokey Robinson, Neo, Alicia Keys. And you know, you're not gonna. The thing is as an entertainer, you're never gonna make both sides happy. Hey, Jacqueline. Hey, Jacqueline.
And have you noticed? Hey, Jacqueline, have you noticed that every tribute that's ever done, it's the same thing. We have the same controversy. People, you know, people hate it. Blah blah blah. They don't want this person doing it. They don't. You should have had so and so. You should have had so and so. It's never going to be to anyone's satisfaction. So, you know, you just have to decide what you like, and what you don't, and don't watch, support.
Right, and being somebody in the TV industry, if people are talking, I guess it's a good thing, right? I mean, a lot of people are talking about it. Whoever is in charge of you know, producing the Grammys and had her on, they knew that there would be some controversy with this, and it is what it is, you know. And Smokey Robinson, though, I love how he did not mince words. He was like, I saw him in an interview with People Magazine. He goes, "Those people are stupid," you know, like if you have a problem with it, you're stupid. And he even took to Twitter. Was it Twitter? No, it was Instagram. But he had posted, quote, "Attention, all those of you who protested a wonderful, super talented, world-renowned superstar like j.lo showing her love and support for Motown music. Here's some food for thought." And he began this like long quote. But part of what he was saying was, so now you're going to try to diminish the scope of Motown and narrow it down to just music for Black people. Well, you're trying to set us back 100 years. So, you know, I tend to agree with that. You know,
that's true. Yeah. It's like, well, Motown wouldn't be it wouldn't be Motown if it just served the Black people. So yeah, the artists were Black. They were groundbreaking. They were historic. They totally changed the entire nation. But the entire nation is not Black. So I get how you know, people want the reflection, and that's important. I don't know. I just didn't have a problem with her though. I just didn't have, minus the Tina Marie bit. But I didn't. But that was from a performance standpoint. But I don't know. She just an electrifying performer. She was having fun, and I didn't find it to be disrespectful at all. I mean, so
you know, what'd be interesting is just right now, somebody that chimed in. Hi, Cynthia. Cynthia Wang is a good friend of mine who was formerly writing for People Magazine and now is in the UK writing for another celebrity publication there. I'd be interested, Cynthia, on what you think about j.lo's performance and all the Motown controversy. So if you could type that in at some point, that'd be interesting, and we can go and revisit that. But Kevin, thank you for posting.
Yeah, we just make I mean, and really, there's like important crap going on in the world, and that's what we're worried about. But so yeah, I mean, if she had gotten up there and had been totally offensive and totally disgraceful, yes. But if you're mad because it's a Latina woman who's honoring Black artists that influenced her as she grew up, I mean, you know, sorry, was I not saying that?
Or like Ellen says, I say this, I always repeat this, but she says, I let my haters be my motivators. So I love that.
Yeah, I was like, girl, come on now. j.lo is paid every due imaginable. She has taken her strengths and worked them, just like worked them.
Exactly.
So yeah, if I miss you with that.
You know that, you know, if you're a celebrity or in the spotlight of any sort, then, or if you have your own bigger platform, if you will, then you know what? You're going to have to practice a lot of self-love. And that's what we're talking about in, don't you love I know you love my little handmade.
I know, and it's my
Fine.
fault that it's backwards, but okay.
Okay, well, so
you still have them. That's just.
I even warned you about that.
I would have to have mine laminated and all this other crap.
It's backwards, but it's all good. So, okay, so today, today we're talking about, you know, I have a lot of single female friends here in San Francisco, okay? And a lot of the single female friends are like, I hate Valentine's Day. I hate Valentine's Day. Personally, having been in a relationship for over a decade now, like, I don't even celebrate Valentine's Day either. And it may sound cheesy, but to me, it's a Hallmark holiday. So I think, you know, every day is sort of special when you get to hang out with those you love, especially your loved ones. So I call it Pal-entine's Day. It's just like, you know, it's just another, I guess, opportunity for consumerism to take over and like make you feel like you gotta buy flowers and chocolates, which chocolate, I don't know. I'm just not into that just on this day. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is just, yeah, if people like, you know, some people get totally into it, and I'm fine with that. But I just can't. You know, I don't buy Christmas gifts. You know, I guess I'm just like, so I don't, all that commercialized stuff, I just stopped doing it years ago. After, like I said, that 1 year where I was paying for Christmas gifts that I bought that last year, the next Christmas, I just cut all that commercial stuff out. So, and nobody seems to love me any less. So I will just take that. But yeah, Valentine's Day, get out there. I mean, I would, I guess, do something, but it doesn't have to necessarily be today. Or, I mean, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, it's not any that
care.
But you know what?
I mean, I hate to say that I don't care, but
you know what I do like is I went to go get some moisturizer earlier for my face, and they had like these beautifully wrapped. It's sitting on my table over there. This beautifully wrapped heart-shaped baguette, and a nice little brown bag with a little hipster string. And I was like all over that. I was like, okay, I'll celebrate getting some for free today. But yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what today is nice to remind me of is really about self-care. And I've been trying to really practice self-care in the last year, even a lot more because I, you know, have lost, you know, several loved ones in the last decade. But you know, last year with grieving the loss of my brother-in-law who died unexpectedly, I've been trying to practice more self-care and self-love. And the way I do it is waking up every morning and sitting in stillness and you know, working my body out, feeding it good food. And on the flip side, though, I've said that in the past or on my Instagram, and people will DM me or like say, "Easy for you to say, you ain't got no kids," you know. But you know what? It's literally like that whole oxygen mask cliche. It's like you gotta put oxygen and take care of yourself before you can fully give yourself to others, because you could be there but not physically, like you can physically be there but not be present and be your best for your friends or your kids or whoever. So even for me, if it's some days I have to rush out the door, 10 breaths. And if you ain't got 10 breaths, then there's an issue going on in your life. Somehow you got to give yourself a little bit of me time. That's my whole take on self-care and self-love.
For me, it is about, I agree, putting yourself on your schedule. Yep. So I don't have kids, thank God, but that was a choice I made when I was a teenager. Like, no, I would never have any expensive things. They never go away. Plus, I didn't want the karma of what I did to my parents coming back to me. And that, so, but that's a whole another show. I didn't, right. It's really about putting yourself on your schedule. So I don't have kids, but I still have other demands. And a lot of people pulling at me about doing this, that, and the other. And really, I just have to figure out to have time for myself in there. And it's interesting you talk about the breaths, because I have to remind myself, you know, sometimes you just got to take a few breaths. But I'm telling you, even on this little Apple Watch, there's the Breathe app or whatever. And it reminds you, like, you know, it tells you to get up to stand up every hour, or, you know, this is your move goal, you're get closer, and it will remind you to breathe. And it will stop you right then and there, and you start the app, and you do 1 minute of deep breathing. And it makes a huge difference.
Hey, Nosha. Anosha's chiming in from the UK. It's good to see all these international people. We were just going live earlier today, and a special Valentine's Day or Pal-entine's Day version. And speaking of which is interesting now that Anosha just chimed in too, is I remember Anosha when she threw a Love Don't Live Here Anymore party back in the day when we were in college. She had a party with a bunch of single people, and she had like a heart-shaped cake that she broke in half and had like little like candy, like, you know, the little heart-shaped kind of those like pasty nasty candies that I actually like. I'm spilling out of it, but yeah, I just think, you know, self-care comes in many different forms, and I think though that the inner size that you do allows for you to do the exercise, the external love for other people, and you know, I just feel like if you're not making time for yourself and putting yourself, like you said, on your schedule, then you know, then there's a problem. And wasn't that something that you had told Oprah back in the day?
Yeah, actually, she told me, and then shortly after that, I had to remind her again because she was talking about how she was so busy doing this other stuff. I said, "Have you put yourself on your schedule?" And she said, "No, thank you for reminding me. I do need to put myself on my schedule. I need to take my own advice." But that's so critical because we just don't do that. You just let everybody else fill your books, fill your every line by line with somebody else's need from you. But about the need for yourself, from yourself.
It's the whole take. They're just taking. And that's why I love people like you and Kevin and Anosha, who's my childhood friend here. She goes, "Oh, you remember that party?" But, you know, it's so true because they remind me to love myself, and we remind each other. I remember Anosha and I messaging back and forth some days, and we're just like, "Please tell me that I'm awesome," or "Please tell me, you know, that I'm all right," you know? And we need that, and you need your tribe. Otherwise, it could get maddening, this thing called life, right? Especially on days like this like Hallmark made up day, and I don't want to sound all poo-poo about it, but you know, I don't believe in spending a lot of money on this made up holiday, going out to eat when restaurants jack up their prices and flowers are all jacked up with their prices. No, it's just like, you know, I think that it's the little things that you do daily, or like your little impromptu, you know, visages, or like the little ways you show love is what I think is really important. But again, like Anosha said, you gotta love thyself, because if you don't love thyself and you don't do that spiritual practice daily, then you just feel depleted. You know, you just feel so tired and like you feel beat down, you know? Anyway, so let's move on to segment 3, talk to ToLo. I love, this is one of my favorites because I got this for free from ARP at a conference, by the way. A little sticky note. I love for free. Anyway, so talk to ToLo.
I love it.
If y'all have any questions, Anosha, Cynthia, or anybody, Kim, listening in, please plug away at the bottom and write your comment in. But the first question comes from somebody anonymous. I'm saying it comes from somebody anonymous, but this person I talked to recently, and she had said something in the vein of, "I can't help but be jealous of others being happy on this day. What can I do to get out of this Valentine's Day hump, or this Valentine's Day dilemma?"
Well, first of all, you can help by being jealous, because that's a wasted emotion, a waste of time.
Energy, waste of energy.
And what is the root of the jealousy? Are you jealous of what you think they have? I don't know. I don't. Yeah. So you got to get out of their lane.
Oh, I like that. You got to get out of their lane to get on your own. I like that. Exactly. I just feel, for me, I feel as though when you have that jealousy or that negative energy swirling around you, then you can't really accept all the beauty and the opportunity and be present to all the other stuff that's coming along. And honestly, like when I saw like your post on our last chat was about the vision boarding, you know, 2.0. And when I saw your post with Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, I was like giddy for you. You know, I didn't feel like there wasn't a twinge of jealousy of like, I want to meet her. I want to meet them. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It'll happen, you know. And I just feel that same excitement. So I mean,
and sometimes if you do feel that, there have been times where certain like, well, how come that isn't happening for me? And I've been trying to make it happen. But if you check that emotion at the beginning, like right in the moment, and you switch it to celebration for that person's, if you're rooting for their rise and you're celebrating for their success, and then that opens the door, the floodgates basically for yourself and your own blessings. You can't receive, you know, you block your blessings when you are fostering energies like, or feelings like jealousy,
contempt,
and you give, you know, because you're giving all your energy to that negativity.
Yeah.
Don't stop all that stuff, and yeah, if you can genuinely root for someone else's rise and celebrate their successes, that will open the floodgates for your own blessings. It just does.
Yeah, and I think you really have to then think deeper as to why you feel like that lack, you know, or why, where the root cause of that unhappiness stems from. I mean, that's a deeper kind of work that you got to do. But I don't know. I just personally and professionally and spiritually, like I've learned, I don't know, just to be excited for people, because, you know, once you have that energy surrounding you, then, like you said, like the floodgates open, and if it's meant for you, whether it's meeting Obama or Oprah or opening up a successful business or losing weight or whatever, once you allow that kind of love to pour through genuinely, then I feel like things start just opening up. And think about that energy. If you're like that and you're huffing and puffing, people don't want to be around you. They don't want to invite you to the, you know, any sort of party or anything.
No, they don't want you pooping on their parade. Basically. So yeah, you really have to get in that space, and it takes work to get into that space. But then, and ask yourself, why am I being given a front row seat to someone else's success if it's not within reach? You know, if my own is not within reach. So why would I? You know, I'm universally speaking, if I'm actually given a front row seat to your success and how you're handling it, I should be inspired by that, because I know I can do it for myself. Not necessarily, I shouldn't resent that, because all that's doing is, you know, because I'm mad, because what I'm really mad about is that you actually got off your butt and did the work.
Exactly.
And I'm just kind of like, So, or I'm swimming in this negativity, and I'm not being accountable for my current situation. Because everything that's happening in my life is really because of thoughts that I've had or actions that I've taken that have not been in my best interest. And they just are.
Yeah.
They just are.
Again,
but you got to do that work.
Said than done, because I had a front row seat to another friend who, one of my friends was doing IVF, and she was like, Toan, I just can't, when I look on Instagram and I see people's babies, I can't help but think, what about me? Or be so sad that I don't have that and whatnot. And what we're saying, exactly what you're saying and what I'm saying, I've said to her. And it took a lot of work and a couple years, and now she's pregnant. And I felt like it's when you let go. A lot of people, a friend of mine just recently told me that she was pregnant, and within the last like couple weeks, and she was like, yeah, you know, like once I was just like, you know, it is what it is, you know, and we started trying, and guess what? Boom, they got pregnant. Because I think when you're so stressed, your body knows, your cells know. Okay, so Anosha says, I've dealt with jealousy for months, and I silenced that jealousy just by telling myself that voice does not need to be listened to anymore. Ooh. And realize that that was my own insecurities and my problem, not the other person's negative thoughts. Be gone. Whoa. Negative thoughts be gone. Ooh.
That's right. That's accountability.
Yes.
You know, and most people don't want to do that. Nobody wants to be responsible because we're always used to blaming someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Anosha, for sharing that.
Take responsibility.
Yeah, because Anosha is a dear friend of mine, and she has so many awesome things going on in her life. So for you to just be honest enough to come out and say, yeah, that was me. Because I'm not going to lie, in the past, I had been jealous before, you know, growing up. You know, growing up in the hood.
It takes work to get out of that space.
I wanted them LA gears, damn it. Hey, Matthew. Matthew's a millennial. Do you know what LA gear is? Anyway, yeah. But yeah, I wanted the LA gears. I didn't care if I got them from the flea market. you know, a discount and they were fake or whatever, I was just like, damn. But then again, it's like, you know, once you put that energy out there, you close the energy that could come to you, the abundance. Anyway, so question number 2 is,
Right.
how do you make time for yourself when you single and okay, I'm putting my own words, and I ain't got no kids. Wait, how do you make time for yourself when you're single and have no kids, etc.? People like I said earlier, people have gotten like kind of like annoyed at me. They're like, oh, with your namaste posts and this and that. But again, that's their own issue. It's not my issue. It's like, get up a little bit earlier, maybe.
Because they're just judging. Yeah. They're judging your life by their perception of it, and it's like, no. You find time.
Yeah. You gotta find time,
even if it's a minute. But if you only get 1 minute, you gotta appreciate that minute. And if you appreciate that minute, then you'll have 2, and then you'll have 10, and then you'll have enough.
Yeah, amen to that. I mean, and there's excuses. I mean, yesterday I went to the CrossFit gym, or 2 days ago, and I saw one of my, you know, CrossFit friends there, and she had just had a baby, and she brought her newborn to the gym. You know, I'm not saying bring your newborn to the gym, but there's ways. And like you said, if you don't even
you'll find a way.
There's a way. Like I said, if it goes down to the bottom of what I have time for is 10 breaths or 1 minute, and you can expand that to 2 minutes in February or the next month, and then 3 minutes the next month. In a whole year, you'll have 12 whole minutes. You know, that's just coming from a single dude that has no kids. But I mean,
you have a minute. I don't care what's going on. You have 60
exactly.
seconds.
And if you don't, then, you know, there's, like I said, there's something else going on. You gotta oxygen mask, drop that.
Deeper issue.
Drop. Okay. Anyway, let's jump to talking about dropping. Let's drop segment 4, digital detox. How are you doing? Let's do a quick check-in now that it's my Chinese New Year, by the way. Happy Lunar New Year, everybody. Year of the pig.
Happy Lunar New Year. Happy Chinese New Year.
So, how are you doing now that we are nearly into the 3rd month of 2019?
A lot better, and I'll tell you, food poisoning
helps. Does it? Because I figured you'd be you just lying there being on your phone.
I was like, I don't even want to see the damn phone. I just want to lay here. Occasionally, I would have an appetite. Occasionally, I would pick up the phone, but I was just like, I didn't want anything. I just wanted to just lay there. But no, I don't recommend getting food poisoning after digital detox. But I did learn that it was interesting to not have an appetite for it. Even though I'd be like, I'd get bored or frustrated with it, because I'd find myself picking up the phone. And I'd just like, I wouldn't even like open the. I'd see myself picking the thing up, and I'd be like,
interesting.
Just because I was in such a cantankerous mood. Period. But I am doing better. I've got much more structured time, even with my consumption of media and news. You know, because I was watching. I still, you know, I found myself watching too much news again, and now I'm just like, no, just turn the thing off. I'm like, I don't need the television on. So plus I've got other stuff now that's keeping me busy. I've got books I got to read. I've got a book I got to finish writing. I've got work stuff I've got to get done. So it's not like I don't have things to do. So
that's a great.
I'm finding better ways to do something.
Those are all great points. You know, one of the things that I've tried to do that I've shared here before too, and I've been sticking to it. But once I got back from Peru in January, after spending 3 weeks there, I left my phone. I leave my phone in my living room, plugged in, and I go inside my room, and that way I can read without, you know, having this weird obsession with having to just pick up the phone to check Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, or check emails. So I can work on my gratitude journal and not think about other, you know, what people are doing in the ethos of social media. And so that really helps. And then today even, I woke up early and had a quick coffee with a friend. And, you know, I like to either turn my phone upside down when I'm with friends, having coffee or dinner or lunch, or just put it in my bag. And that really helps. But it's all those little things. But you know what's interesting is Vita Water. They had this challenge that Kevin actually ran across and shared with us, that there's $100,000 that they would give to you in a contest if you win to ditch your smartphone for a year. And my question is, everybody got a price, but what is yours? Would you even think about
a year? You know, actually, if it only takes 21 days to make a habit, I think if you can get through the first month of that, then you can go a year. I did that with, this might be too much personal information, but I did that with sex once or twice, many years ago.
For a whole year?
Where I was going on this whole, like, for a whole year. I know, Jill. It'll be in the book. Details coming in the book.
Okay.
But I'm saying I did do that because I needed the discipline, right? So if you can make it a month, you could probably make it for a year.
Okay.
But getting to that first a month without the phone, and that's not for me.
What? You just said something really deep there. Wait, you just unearthed this. Okay, you just unearthed something. So you're saying that you could give up sex for a whole year, but not your phone? Oh, Amber, it's Kevin, our producer, posted the Vita Water Challenge link there for you. That's how you sign up. But no way, like that. Both of them are hard to do. You know, like actually, what's even more natural though is sex. Like the phone is not natural. Come on now, and I just hate being attached and stuck on it. So for business wise or for stuff, I know I gotta log into my emails. I know I gotta go to my online class and do some grading, and I know I gotta do some posts because I want to share this wisdom and knowledge in blogs and such and videos, but I just am starting to feel like I want to go back and retract and go back to the basics of not having it so much in the forefront of my consciousness. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's fine. It's a work in progress.
Exactly, but
it's work. I don't know if I can go, but $100,000 is not my price. I would need a little more than that at this particular time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what my price would be, but somebody can do it. Someone can do it.
Yeah, same here. I don't know about the whole 1 year thing, but it's interesting. What I'm very interested in now is how will the phones really affect our lives as the kids that we have in our lives grow up? Because back in college, cell phones were very expensive and they were very big, and now they're getting smaller and cheaper to have, cheaper in quotations. So,
everyone's got one now with a camera on it and a computer.
So it's just interesting. And we've even talked about in the past where like hotels are saying, there's a cell phone challenge for you to not be on your cell phone, and there are perks that you could get. I don't know. I think it's a really huge epidemic that's happening, like screen time. And a part of me just wants to retract back from it, and just have it a little bit more simpler. And I don't know how to do that. I mean, we talked in the past about, how, social media and all that has already affected our fingers and limbs, and people are needing surgery, because they're getting carpal tunnel, and people's having problem with their necks because their necks are down like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not good. What's Kevin's comment there about he was listening to a podcast
last night
that might have
that they were talking about how, looking back, Y2K wasn't that bad of a concern because technology wasn't as pervasive in our everyday lives. Right? Remember Y2K? Nothing happened, by the way. Y'all know that. Right? And now,
right, but it was a huge, like, millennials are like, Y2K, but right.
Yeah, Y2K, for those of y'all watching that don't know, is when year 2000, the numbers digitally would switch over. They thought the computer systems would crash, and it would be an apocalyptic thing. But again, like, a good point, Kevin, with this podcast that you listened to, we weren't as addicted or as dependent on our phones. We still use Rand McNally. Remember that? The little maps that came in books.
They were like paper maps, or when you printed out the map quest. We know that was when technology was hot. when you could print out the directions on MapQuest where you were going.
Yeah.
No.
Basically.
Yeah, that stuff.
Okay.
Today, these kids will be crushed because they don't have any skills outside of it.
Basically.
What did Jackie say there?
Kevin says, I used AAA map, AAA maps. They were free. Kids don't even know what that is anymore. I think they stopped printing them, is what I thought I read recently. Jacqueline says, $150K for no social media for a year. That'll pay for my landline phone bills, mail costs, and printing costs to share my photos with friends and family. I do crave a digital detox, and very interested to see how y'all digital detoxing. We're still trying, but you know what? Let me say this much. Wait, Amber says, I thought I was hot stuff using MapQuest. Kids are like, what's MapQuest?
Right. See, okay, Amber. Right.
I remember MapQuest.
That's when you knew.
Remember, that was back in the day of, was it Ask Jeeves? Before Google, there was Ask Jeeves.
Yep.
We're dating ourselves, dude.
So, yeah.
MapQuest, Kevin says, MapQuest versus Map Blast was a big debate. I don't even know what Map Blast did, but Kevin is a little older than me.
I don't remember Map Blast.
Anyway, it was good hearing your voice. It's good chatting with you guys at home. If you like what you see, please share.
Yes.
Share this video. It'll be posted live. The live will be posted actually. And happy Lunar New Year, y'all. Let's make it one with less phones.
Happy Lunar New Year.
Less phones and more self-love. There. See you guys later.
Take care, guys.
Bye. Happy Self-Love Day. Valentine's Day.
Valentine forever.